What up, what up, what up? Bankroll Tim, bet it up. I know you're like, what the hell is going on with that thing? Well, let me tell you. This is a 1980 Malibu. Another Malibu. 26-inch Brutus big caps. Floating big caps. So, car been around, I guess, a long time, obviously. Look, it says Dub on it. The way the fiberglass work is inside, all that. Got a big ass sub box in it. 26s. Rides like a tank. Front upper control arms are on backwards. Front frame notch is horrible. When I say that the front uppers are on backwards, meaning that the left is on the right and the right is on the left. Ball joint location is way back. And you can see the wheel is sitting way back. Alignment is completely out of whack. Everybody that's touched this car has had no idea what they were doing, are doing. But yeah, had it in the house garage for the last couple days. It came off the flatbed, went right into the house garage. And yeah, we didn't start it because the radiator hose was leaking. It's got an RPC chrome radiator hose on there and the rubber boot or something, but I took the connecting piece off that went to the radiator and I just put some good hose clamps on there and tightened it up. It helped, but it still leaks a little bit, as you can see down there. But it was enough for me to get it in from the house garage in the driveway, make a 15-point turn. Because like I said, it was back in the house garage. And that little bump that I talk about right mid-trailer right there, this thing was like bam, bam, banging so hard in the back. He said he had to put air in the air shocks. I didn't realize it had air shocks on it, but he said he had to put air in the air shocks. I don't even know how dude was able to drive this thing. No turning in the front. He said these are brand new tires because the other tires got chewed up. And then, of course, whoever you dealt with on putting the tires on the rims didn't pay attention to the direction of the wheel and the direction of the tires. So both tires are on the rims backwards on the front. So this feels like damn near straight. And that one's turned to the right. Yeah, you heard me correct. Turn. Anyways, different tire tread on the back. Like I said, this is that newer tire that's been out for a couple years. Who knows if this is what he had on the front, but this is that Force, Atlas Force or whatever. So you can see it's chewed up. So I don't know exactly how long the wheels have been on here, but the wheels are brand new. Oh yeah. So it's got adapters on the back. We're gonna get them adapters off of there, of course. The back frame has not been touched, which is a plus. But yeah, let me get this thing up in the air. This right here must be the people who painted it. And who knows when it was painted. And this, or whoever did the wrap, because it's a wrap or a decal. But yeah, see them taillights, 1980 is that. Obviously all the taillights are interchangeable, like I was saying, 78 is angled right here, so the quarter tension, boom. So you could put the 78 taillights and quarter tensions on this car and interchange all the taillights. The bumpers are basically the same bumper. That's the nice looking bumper. So yeah, I'm gonna have to cut these tailpipes off. But all right, so this is what we're gonna do. It's got QA1 coilovers in the front. We're gonna throw these Vikings on the back. We got double adjustable control arms. We got anti-roll. We got some bracing. Got the 275 spring. 275. Got a C209 shop. That's fine. It's 26s. It is set up, whatever. Just the basic brackets. We're not gonna do super drops, nothing like that. So that bracket setup on there. More than enough adjustment. Went to 26s on how it's gotta sit. He wants the front higher than that. So what is the other thing? We got the trick chassis frame bracing kit. He bought that. We're gonna throw that on there. So once I get it up in the air, be able to look at the bottom. I haven't had it up in the air yet. Be able to look at the bottom and see what's all gonna be in the way. If it's gonna be a problem, if it's not gonna be a problem. We're gonna see what's gonna be a problem. We'll just go ahead and say, yeah, it's gonna be a problem. That way it's a better outlook. Say it's gonna be a problem, most of the time it's not gonna be a problem. You say it ain't gonna be a problem, oh, it's gonna be 10 times the problem. So, but yeah, just a small block in there, 350, something like that. I don't think it's no 383, obviously. Every small block out there is a 383. But all right, get a couple pitches, and I'm gonna get it up in there. Build it up, be right back. All right. Got it up in the air. Man, car's not too bad underneath, I guess. Look at these right here. Look at that, rock hard. Stock control arms. I have to cut these pipes off. Tailpipes out the way. I can do the cross brace, get these springs out of here, get these air shocks out of here. Trash. Look at this weld job, boy. Pipe, tip. Oh, frame tail's all there. Frame tail on this side. It's all there. Nobody touched the back notch. That's a plus. Look up here. What we got going on? Floor is just a little gone. Oh, yeah, I'm gone. That's the only one though. This one got a dent in it, but pretty solid. That side is pretty solid. Oh, somebody patched that. Yeah, that's not that clean. But, anyways, this shit right here, boy. Talk about people not knowing what the hell they're doing. Good Lord. Let's see this side. This side even better. Oh, look at this side. What they put on top here. I don't even think that's 1/8 inch. Looks like it's some 22, 24 gauge, something like that. But oh man, good Lord. What did I get myself into? Look at all that. Wait until I get these wheels off and show you guys. Man. Both front wheels I can pull. Look at the bearing. See the bearing moving? You can't have that little bit of play. Has this one got a cotter key? Oh yeah, it's got a cotter key right there. Let's go over to this side. I see a dent in the rim. But this side, what is that green thing? Is that a piece of house wire or something? But this one's moving too. Not as much as that side, but let's see. It's got one long stud in here. I wonder if these wheels are even come on. I know one rotor is different. This is a drilled and slotted rotor. This one's a solid rotor. Yeah, so this one's a brand new rotor. Let's see, does this one have all the... Oh, it's missing a stud. Right there. That's why there's an ARP stud kit. That's that shit. New rotor. So, somebody trimmed lip jaggedly. But the main things that hit, we know when the rear end moves forward, backwards, they cut the car, move the cone. And I don't know what size wheels this thing had on it before. I don't know if it's always had 6s on it or what. I mean, these wheels ain't that old. So yeah, we'll close that gap up by taking that adapter off the back. That's a plus that the back frame has been notched. I'll get these wheels off. I'll get these wheels off and show you some more. Let it up, let it up. Broke ass bankroll. I'll be back. All right, y'all. Got it up in there. Got the wheels off. Took the air shocks and springs out the back. Because obviously we're not using that shit. Air shocks are garbage. But the springs, there was so much pressure in here. I took the bolt off the bottom, the nut off the bottom of the shock. And to get these two, I just ran them down and it popped the rear end down because there was so much pressure. Anyways, let me show you some other things. Look at that bracketry right there for the exhaust, yo. Oh yeah. I think they got it, right? I think they got it. Let's see this side. Oh yeah, look at that. That's even better right there, right? Which one do y'all think is better? Instead of just buying some $5, $8 muffler hangers, this is what they did. Which who knows who did it? Who knows when it was done? It was probably done a long time ago. I don't know. But yeah, we cut the car. I'm gonna trim that back more. Probably go through the screw out some more. I need all the room I can get. But everything will work now because this, let's see, what is this? I don't even know. Some type of undercoating. Oh yeah, they passed, but of course I'm gonna roll that shit in. Oh yeah, anyways. Let me show you guys a special treat. Look at that. Look at that frame notch right there. That's beautiful. Like I said, the upper control arms are on the wrong side, so those got to be switched. It does have K1s in the front. Oh, look at that. It's got no bearing plate. No thrust bearing on there, so. I wonder, what is it, 550?
I don't know.
That's what I was just looking for. I was just looking for the numbers to see.
I see it.
I see the writing on this side, but I don't see.
Yeah, they're 550s.
550s?
10HT.
Yeah, it's because it's Q1. 550, so somebody listened about that in the front.
Hey, why did
It's a single adjustable? Single adjustable.
Yeah, single.
Look at how much they're fighting with that lock collar and adjustment plate. They're fighting with that pretty much. That's all beat to shit. Oh, I don't even think this one has the washer. I know it does. It has the shit on it.
That's got the little one.
Yeah, no, that's I think a piece of house wire.
I think
right?
it is. Yeah, it's a piece of
electrical.
solid.
Yeah.
That's a ground wire.
Look at this side, y'all. Look at that frame notch. Oh,
Jesus.
no. And this side's a little bit better than that side, I guess. But whoever the hell did this had no clue. They shouldn't even be touching nobody's shit. All right, well, I'm gonna get back to it. I just had to show you guys that. That broke ass bankroll. All right, back on it. put the stand underneath the front corner right here, because yeah, when I tightened that up, a whole bunch of shit was moving. I wanted to tighten up that cab, which, yeah. Anyway, got the spring pockets cut out back here. That's cut out. I filed that down, ground it down that side. That side. We don't have the bar up in here. And I went and picked up his parts from Electric Chassis. Got the longer arm. So now, when I put this cross member in here, I'll be able to tuck it backwards more like I want. Then the shocks come off the front of it, but the anti-roll will come off the bottom of it. And the anti-roll will go to the back side. Back side of here. Or if I decide to tuck the anti-roll in front of it, then I can come off the front side. So depending on where it's gonna sit, I'll measure it all up. Like I said, I'll cut that cross member, I'll attack it, and then I'll see if I gotta move it once I get the rear end in position. I just got the stands under it right now. I pretty much got it figured out. Obviously with the super drop boxes, which this car's not getting, that sits back a little more, the brackets sit back a little more than running the regular bracket right off the back here. So this one's gonna have just a regular coilover bracket right here. So I gotta cut this, pull the brake line, clean this up, and I'll keep it, as far out for more stability. When you see guys have it, I did it before too. I put the coilover in more, and then it came into play with the exhaust. It came into play with a whole bunch of shit. So now I tuck them as close to the frame rail as possible. Yeah. All right. Let's see. I had a big mess on the floor. Cleaned up. Oh, I tapped. I tapped this in back here. Which, like I said, somebody replaced something right here. I think this is like the original car. I see gold here. I see gold up under the rocker. Gold. Yeah, I know it's got holes and shit in it. When I tapped right here, oh yeah, this thing that's the bottom of the seat right there. So I don't know what about that. So I'll get ready to cut this, like I do. Slice it. Draw the lines on your verse if you want to. You don't have to go too far back here, but you slid it, you slid it, you slid it, you slid it. You roll this in, cut off the excess. Then you put a piece of strip steel in it, butt it right up to wherever the line is, how far you push it in. You can overlap it if you want to, or you can butt it and just leave a little nice gap and fill the gap, and then you're able to clean it up. Of course, down here, but I'll show you guys when I cut it open. Anything on this side cleaned up. Feed this in. Finessed it in. Feed it in. Tap it in. That side is original. You see the gold again. Up here, you see the gold, and then this is the solid on this side. So. These frame rails, I do have another can of rubberized undercoating around here, so that's what I'll probably spray these rails with. You can see that this thing was so high up. It wasn't that high, but it was at that point where it was going forward, backward. The spring was in there, and they must have jacked the car up, like jacked the suspension up in order to get the shock to go in there, because the shock was fully aired up and them springs were real tall. So I don't think the air shocks did anything aired up all the way. Might have stopped it from leaning side to side, but it was tight. Anyways, yeah, let me get the cross number here. You made it. All right. Keeping it moving. Got the coilovers together. I haven't done this notch yet, but I started the other side. But I got brackets on there. That's all painted. Anti-roll tabs on there. painted. The entire bolt was up in there. This one didn't come painted, so I put it up in there, painted it, did put some grease in it. Cross member is up in there. Upper shot tabs are welded all up in there, both sides. Put a little bit of that spray can to work on there. And then this one is satin. This is satin this time, y'all. Amazon, like 45 bucks for 6 cans. It goes on pretty good. It goes on way nicer in the heat, y'all. All right, so to get all angles of that, I got a little curve to it. Like I said, I just split it right through the center of the hole that's in the frame. That's a little hot. Then I was able to fit this piece in there, but I put it up there, drew a line, pulled this back off, cut it, bam. Now there's just enough of a gap that I'll be able to just fill the gap, fill all that, clean it up. The bottom was open more than this, and I tapped it from the bottom up to close it up some more. And now I'm gonna rub that in. My argon is very, 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 very low. So hopefully I'll be able to get this all in. And then tomorrow I'm planning on taking and exchanging the bottle and picking up some 3/16 plate for the front. I have against the wall right there, got some 1/8" plate. I have a whole bunch of scrap stuff. Yeah, see, I'm out of thicker plate and I need a lot more. I gotta go get a couple pieces, there's some more 1/8", but I want 3/16. So 3/16, you buy 3" wide, buy 4 feet long, whatever. So I'll go buy a couple pieces, so that way when I start cutting this shit, well, I should be able to have the back of this thing done. And like I said, this is a piece of the actual frame. I don't know what the hell they're thinking. This is just the speedo cable that they. But I'll cut this off the top. Should be able to clean this up some to where I can build whatever, maybe come off the bottom. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet as I go. Cut this shit all up because we don't need this. Oh, flex this back some, which they, ooh, that was pretty sharp. But I'll flex that back like I always do. Get these chromes back on here, trim these fenders. I think on this one, I'm gonna move the bottom ball joint location since these are a stock lower control arm. So what I'm saying is I will cut it between here, front to back, and then I'll be able to move this forward probably 3/4 of an inch. And that's gonna be able to allow me to degree the spindles better. Because like right now, this is hanging and the spindle's leaning forward. So if we want to go up higher, this would probably be ride height right here. So that's gonna go bye-bye, the bump stop. I'm gonna trim the frame like I always do right here. This one, I probably won't touch this area like I normally do. But again, those arms are on opposite sides. I could possibly leave them on this side once I move the bottom ball joint location. When the car's sitting in the picture, you see that the wheel is way far back. So by moving the bottom ball joint location, I should be able to get the sport steering as it moves the wheel forward too. And there's tons of shimming up there, so then I can re-shim all that. And I'd rather trim the front of the fender more, which Malibu, you know, I've done Malibu with 26s plenty of times. Look, see now I don't have the stand under it, and now look how big the gap is right there compared to the bottom. And other people are like, oh, this and that, blah, blah. Dude's doing whatever he's doing with the car. He's gonna have everything fixed, stuff like that. I'm doing what I'm doing to make it ride right. The car's never been able to ride right, so. And one more time, this right here is doing absolutely nothing. Think about it. The stock brace is one that goes from here to there. Look at the frame horn of the car. It's solid. You got the bumper tied together here. You got core support in there. The whole cross member right there underneath the motor is strong as hell. This is doing nothing. People want to argue with me about that. It's a waste of money. I don't know how much this piece cost, And then, okay, the sway bar, the narrow sway bar. It bolts on here, and then it bolts to another bracket that's offset forward a little bit more on the 2-in-1s. So this looks like it, I haven't seen it yet, but this would be in the way. But I'm just trying to teach that there's no point in buying this. If you buy a whole UMI kit, and you like that shit, and you want that on there, go for it, have fun. But it does nothing. And I'm sorry, it's not a truck. Why do you need bars all up underneath the front? We need bars underneath the back, underneath the middle of the car to tie the car together. This one definitely needs that frame brace kit to go up into the backs of these. So I'm gonna have to get that side cut, flexed, have the jack underneath of it going to get all that back level, plumb, square, whatever you want to call it, before I run those braces up front of that trick chassis frame brace kit. All right. Mount it up. All right, y'all. Got the back wheels on it. Trying to square it. Yep. You can't get the scat pad doing or something. I don't know. Anyway. Unless my daughter's in there blowing it. Well, maybe it is the alarm. He was messing with it earlier. But anyways. Malibu, Malibu, Malibu. So right now, how far they cut the car and where I position the rear end, and it's still gonna go down, so it's gonna go back a little bit more. But I can't set it down yet, because I don't have the front stuff. Anyways, there's the notch, nice and smooth through there, that I did. Got plenty of room. Got the coilovers in there, all mounted up. Got the anti-roll all mounted up. I still gotta paint these brackets, and if you look right there, when I put these brackets on, I forgot about, I should have had these changed already. But anyways, so I just notched the corner of it out to be able to get the bolt in there. Stock bolt head is 18 mil. These aftermarket bolts for these arms are 3/4 head, but I just trimmed it, shaved it. Not gonna hurt nothing, it's fine. Nobody else will probably see this, and I don't have to show it, but when I made my center line on the upper cross member, I was off a little bit. And when I made this center line for the anti-roll line up to that, I'm actually a 1/2 inch to the right with the anti-roll. See how it's like tighter here and there? Well, like I said, I didn't have to show that, but it's not gonna hurt nothing. Preload, back right side of the car, this and whatever, it's still tied. The shit that I've seen out there that people do, and they let it slide and this and that, that'd be like 4 inches off. But anyways, got the double adjustable lowers, got the double adjustable uppers. I was just squaring up the rear end to the car and everything, to the frame, how the notches. You can see without the adapter on there, we're on a full 1.25 inches and more. This side, I know this car's got problems, but whatever. So if you measure from this gap to the tire, this should give you an idea, you know. So this, the other side was 11 5/8, so this side was 11 1/4. So I ended up moving this side back a little more, did some more measuring off the frame, and squared it up. I got ET lug nuts on there, which you know, 7/16 ET extended thread. So this part goes into the rim, helps it out. Not that this thing's got power to get out of its own way. But yeah, so I figured I'd get this part on the video. A little paint on there. So my next step is to get the ladder bar cross member tied in underneath here, tie into the torque boxes, and then run the frame braces up to the front to there. But I gotta make sure the front of the car and the back of the car is level, and I gotta preload that side with that screw jack because the front frame is so bad on that side. So this car really needs that tube to be the frame brace to hold the back of this structure. So I'll probably even put a plate on the back, or I'll probably end up right at this bottom corner back here, which yeah, right here. And then I got 3/16 plate. There's 2 plates right here. They're 3 inch by 3 foot, 4 foot, but it's 3/16. Yeah, 3/16, 3 inch, 3 foot. So I got 2 pieces of that. So I can start figuring out how I'm gonna fab this up. So I'm gonna do this side first. So I'll probably end up, cutting this shit out of here, get all the loose shit, figure out how I'm gonna curve this bottom. I'll probably make the plate onto the bottom, then cut off the excess where I'm gonna make it curve. And then I'll probably be able to lay that 3 inch in here. So this has got to get cut back more, cut up more. That's just crazy, man. And then after that, I'll get these rotors off. Put the new studs in these rotors. Put the new rotor on that side. Get these bearings all tightened up. Switch them over control lines. And like I said, I might move the bottom ball joint location, but depending on how it looks when it's on the ground. I did try to turn up the coilovers some more. They don't have the bearing plates in there. I did find them in the boxes, the thrust bearings. So I did try to turn them, and they're tight as hell right now, and it's a 550 spring, so I don't know. I have to take all that shit off. Might have to take the whole front end apart. And like I said, I'll cut this ball joint location, move it forward, plate it, weld it back on, like I used to always do. So that way you move the whole wheel farther forward, and then you can degree it back more with the shimmy. So that way you're not into all of this. But yeah, I mean, look at that. Since I moved the car up again and the stand's not underneath it, look how big that cat. Yep. I'm crying, complaining, but it's about 7:30, 8 o'clock, and I'm done for today. I've been in here sweating my balls off. But yeah, look at that back wheel coming up. That's way better. Let's see. You see how that one looks? Come over here to this one. Let's see how that one looks. They're almost symmetrical. Again, this UMI bolt brace, this whatever, it does nothing. Guys, don't waste your money on that shit. Where's your back on it? I know it kind of looks goofy. You look at it here, it looks real goofy. Look at it here, it don't look too bad, but it's not where it's gonna sit. It's gonna sit on the ground. Not low, but enough. I know where it was. All right, let me get back to it. All right. Had to cut the exhaust out of the way. I just let them hang because I can move it side to side. With those awesome buffer hangers they got there. So anyways, got the ladder bar cross member in there. Upwards because downwards wouldn't work with all this exhaust is. I'd had to cut the exhaust off, this, that, whatever. Tied into the back torque box, tied into the cross member. Inside I still got a weld up here, but I wanted to be able to mark the other tube like this over here in the exact same spot, blah blah. But this one, as I went forward to be with the front, I had to cut a notch out of the cross member. So they cut it for the exhaust, which it doesn't look like they needed to, but this exhaust is, again, I'm not going to cut the exhaust off and this and that, whatever. So this, I'll probably put a piece of 2x3 right here, just a small piece, so I can come off of this and go into the side here, along with how this is, to go into the bar so it goes across. So the cross member for this brace kit obviously can't go in. This tube, this exhaust is too high. I know it's all janky shit, but yeah. So I'm not doing it the best I can with what I have to work with without having to do a ton more shit. This side, this side, the mount that goes here for the trans cross member, it sits way down for the tube to be down here. So this is in the way because this is too high. This is in the way because it's too low. So it would be splitting the difference. There's a lot more work that needs to be done. If I was to cut the exhaust here and move it up. All right, I gotta stop this video. All right. Got the frame bracing in there. Got the ones run up to the front. Got the ones on the side. This one's all welded in. This is all welded in. That's all welded in. That's all welded in. This one's welded in. Now this is what I was talking about with the trans cross member piece that goes in here. So it sits down off the trans, and then the tube goes across. But this is totally in the way. This one, they both need to be lowered to do that. Or with the circles put in it, just a lot more shit. And I'm not trying to use exhaust because obviously it needs exhaust anyways. I know I'm saying that, but yeah, that's welded in. I put a piece of 2x3 right here, welded here, welded to the back side, got as far back. Okay, back there. Got along here. Now that light's blinding, right? So yeah, now I'm going to lower the car down. I'm gonna get the rotors off, get rid of these backing plates. The bearings obviously need to be cleaned up and repacked, but I gotta put the longer studs in the rotors. Get the calipers off, get the rotors off. Like I said, I'm most likely gonna move this multiplication forward. So I'm gonna get all that out of my way. I gotta take the upper control arms off, but I gotta start fixing that shit. So that's what's next, y'all. That's what's next. So probably gonna cut up to here. Cut. Might bend some of this down, but then the seamed part of the frame is there. So I'll cut the shit off the front, and then I'll probably bend it up and figure out how I'm gonna curve it and then start plating it. But I got the 3/16s right there, so it should be good when I'm done. I mean, yeah, everybody sees the car is, kind of shitty. This back corner right back here, it only had a little bit of the gray primer, bond, or whatever the hell this is. Only a little bit of that was showing before. But when I was doing this frame notch and rolling the tub in, this was just falling apart. And, like, it's just basically somebody bonded directly over the rust. But he's gonna have the car repainted. I mean, the car's, there's some structure to the car that's good. The rocker is good. But anyways, once the car goes down, then I'll probably make the car back a little bit more clearance-wise with the drive shaft. The car's gonna go on about 3 inches, and like I was saying, that being there, there's like 5.5 inches. So we'll see when it's down. That stays, whatever, what I mean. If you don't, I got the other set right here. I painted them so that I can switch those out with those. But yeah, all right, I'm gonna keep it moving. I'm gonna get this thing lowered down. Like I said, I gotta take the shock setup out anyways for the bearing plate to be able to get the light because they are a pain in the ass to turn right now. Yeah, that's where we're at. Got that up. I'll be back. All right, just so y'all didn't think I was bullshit about moving that bottom location. Got the upper control arm switched around. The left is on the left, the right is on the right. You can see the difference. And then I went 5/8 of an inch farther forward. on the ball joint. And we'll weld that up. Put a piece of plate steel behind here. Piece of plate steel behind here. Fully weld it all the way around. I can't wait to hear people talk smack about that. Oh, they always do it on the shorts. I got the shorts ready too to put up. But 5/8 of an inch, both sides, all the following. But yeah, more work on the Malibu. And this cream puff next door, there's a total of 6 cameras now. And he's got ones with LED lights that go in motion. So if you're in my driveway right there in front, and you walk back and forth, it turns on. The lights stay on for 30 seconds. So I don't know what he's really thinking, but there's a trail cam up in the tree above the white wire. He took this one off the post right here. He had that on the post. He moved it. And you can see the piece of 2x6 in the tree. If I get my hand out of the way, and he put it on there. And then you see that one right there on that tree. That's one of the ones that lights up. There's another one just like that one in front that lights up. So there is a total of 6 cameras within 7 trees. Crazy. This dude is, there's something wrong with this guy. Oh yeah, Malibu. All right, I'm gonna get that welded up, and then yeah, I got the front of the car stood. It's level, so when I start cutting to fix the frame notch. Oh yeah, all right, y'all. Be back with more work done. All right. What a pain in the ass of the floor. What a mess. So this is what I did with the 3/16 plate. Because it wasn't fat enough to go this way, I stripped it. Then I had the cap underneath here. And put a little triangle piece on the side. But I'm about to put, ooh, there's a bird right there, but probably just gonna paint over it. Yeah. But yeah, there's that part. There's that nasty mess. I mean, I don't really know what they were thinking. I got the fender trimmed. I put a cell tap in the trim right there. Rolled that in. It was all jacked up to begin with, but whatever. Ball joint, cut, move forward. Still got to weld the underneath of it, but I can't get to welding the underneath of it until I get the other. I got the car level, frame level, all that. And the screw jacks are tight. Oh, yeah, that one's not tight underneath there now. Well, now that I got that side together, I'm gonna have to double check all the levels before I cut this side open. But yeah, same thing. I already got this. Move forward. Somebody thought they put grease on. They ain't got no grease on. I gotta cut this. I took that bolt out already. I gotta cut this up. Cut this out the way that I cut that side out and make this side look like that side. Gotta do the best I can to make it look like it. But yeah. And then all this other shit I got going on with the 6 cameras in the tree, the neighbor all in my business. 3:30 in the morning last night, sheriff knocking at the door. Well, he never even got a chance to knock at the door. I heard something going on and I was like, what the hell? He walked all the way down my driveway and heard my radio playing, and then walks back up that way, and then I go to the door, the front door, and I'm like, what the fuck? I open the door, I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And he's like, come here. I'm like, what do you mean, come here? So then he's like, just come here a second. We walk over by the scrap bin, and he's like, did you leave something on or this and that? I'm like, oh yeah, my radio, whatever. He's like, nope, I gotta give you a ticket for it. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, oh, my sergeant said, if we get another call out here for anything noise related, this and that, you get a ticket. You couldn't even hear it from the front of the driveway. There's no way this dude heard it from his house. He heard it on the audio of the camera, which is illegal to have the audio recording. And his bitch ass called the motherfucking sheriff. That's how, like, this dude is all out. He can do whatever he wants, and nobody else can do shit. So, anyways, I guess it's like a $100 ticket. I got a court date for it. Dumb shit, man. I'm telling you, just dumb shit. What do we got here? We got damn beetles. I thought it was a spider. He don't. All right, y'all. Enough about that. Working on this. Set that up. Be right back. All right. So, the frame bracing I had painted the other day, but I forgot that I did not put it on the video yet that I painted it. But it's all painted. This is how this side turned out. So, a little different on the edge here than the other side. This was beat way back, so I couldn't really get it straightened out. The bottom's a little different right here. But like I said, 3/16, and then I didn't polish it. I didn't think there was any need to polish it, but 3/16. Well, this one right here is actually back a little more in this area, which this really doesn't matter. You just gotta definitely get 24s. A lot of people like cut behind the mount, and then the tire ends up turning and hitting the corner right here. And it tears up the back of the tire, tears up the back of the rim. 26, you'd be a little bit farther back. But, I mean, that's not perfect. Not perfect. You guys seen what I had to start with. Just threw a little paint on there, whatever. I got to weld the bottoms of the arms here. So, of course, the shorts or the reels on Facebook and stuff like that. People are talking shit. Saying it's going to break right off, blah, blah. So, I'll probably cut this little piece I put in here. Cut it. Be able to fucking fill all this with weld. Fill behind here with weld. Go along here with weld. And then weld here. Weld here. I mean, I've done it plenty of times. 281 is basically a ½ inch farther forward on the lower arm to 3/4 of an inch farther forward, and then the uppers are moved back some so it degrees, so it gives you a sports hearing. When you see these cars and people are trying to move the wheel forward and they put more shims in the front to move it forward and in and forward, then when you watch the cars turn, this side right here, if you're going to turn left, this wheel would actually come out and make it look like the wheel was about to roll over on its face. So I make it the other way. So this top of the wheel, when you turn left, would go in at the top. That top of the wheel would come out. So you're turning left, so you're digging the tire in. You're not flopping the tire over the wheel, the tire, whatever you want to call it. So I did get the bearing plates in there. Same thing on this side. Gonna weld this shit up. I know I put this one in a little different than that, whatever. But anyways, it's gonna get welded. I'll trim it off a little bit. Weld all that up. But then, yeah, looking at this side. So, yeah, see, this one, I think how that one is, that one goes back more like this, and then that one's straighter. So this one, gradual. But then, like, right here, this stays, I mean, it's still angled back some, but it's a little different in how it lays back. And, of course, how I plated it underneath because of how the frames were cut. This one ended up way better on the outside. A lot smoother than it looks, but this is the stock frame right there, and then put a little triangle piece or whatever you want to call it over 3/16 right here. But yeah, I mean, it's all right. But yeah, I gotta scuff these real fast with just the wire brush, blow them off, put some paint on them. So I'll probably set them on, I don't know, the crate or something, and throw a lot of cardboard away. It's 84 degrees in here right now. But well, it should just drive fine. I still gotta knock all the studs out of the rotors. I'll get these painted, knock all the studs out. Well, that one's I'm not using. I'm gonna use the bearings out of that one because there's a brand new rotor in the box over there, and then put the 7/16 ARP studs in there. And hopefully be able to bolt the front of this up. I do have to get that brake line. Oh, that's what I went to the toolbox because I know I got a brake line sitting around here somewhere. I just got to find it. But it might not be long enough. This one right here is easy. From there to this wheel, it's probably a good foot. So I'll probably have to send the kid to the store. I don't have one that's a foot long over here. I have to send the kid to the store, get one. But yeah, so I did have the front of the car twisted up, and when I cut all that out, there was one section that popped, but I think it was just a lower control arm box area. It had pressure to it. But then that up there still stayed gapped. I let the screw jacks down and it gapped a little more, but when it sits down, it should be fine. But this fender anyways is so much farther forward than the other fender. Do we have another color right here? Probably just the filler was different. Anyways, all right, let me get these spindles painted and start working on getting this front end back together. And we'll see what happens after that. Back that up. Oh yeah, and the neighbor went and added another camera over there that are just like the little round one. So there's another one right above my trailer, or oh, it's up on that board. There's a 2x6 in the tree right there. Yeah, whatever. If you see it, you see it. But this dude's just something else, man. That box, I think I showed you guys that box the other day. Must have all the solar panels in it or some shit. I don't know. I don't get it. You know, just mind your own business. I'm not in your business, so mind your own business. All these people that are out here, and this is a guy that has a 20-something foot Trump sign in his front yard, but yet he's a crybaby, and he's all up in everybody else's business, harassing, stalking. It's crazy. It is fucking crazy. I finally got what I wanted, a house, building, this, that, boom. Can walk out the house, do some work, this, that, whatever. And this dude's just, look at that. Within 7 trees, there's 6 cameras. 7, 8 trees, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm not counting the first tree. But it's just, dude, just mind your own fucking business. Stay over there. And like I said, I keep telling you guys, that's not the house right there. The one that's in the trees, that's the house. So he's all the way back there, and he cut that tree down and cut another tree down so you can see straight over here. My cameras are not plugged in, and I know he's watched my videos all the time, and that's why he's been doing more lately, because my cameras don't record, because I'm here 24/7. I don't mess with his shit, but they're over here messing with my shit. Something to do with those logs right there. They keep moving them. It's like they got another trail cam or something over there. See how the gravel's up higher? It makes no fucking sense at all. Somebody on my Facebook was like, oh, clout chasing, oh, this and that. Those are actually your cameras. No, those ain't my fucking cameras. The fucking property line is somewhere in there. We know where the cab is in the front. We don't know where the cab's in the back. So I got a surveyor coming out. But this dude, all he's trying to do is trying to make me spin, whatever. I want to put a fucking fence up anyways. But like I said, if I put a fence up, what's he gonna do? Cut the fucking branches off more and then go up and put the cameras in the tree, or put the pole up higher and put the cameras up higher? Yeah, you would think in the door, it's 100% illegal what he's doing, but yet he's getting away with it. Yeah, the sheriff's been out here, but the sheriff, they're just like, oh, well, there's nothing we can do. Oh, well, there's nothing we can do. Anyways. Fucking clown. Straight fucking clown. Too many of them out there still. Alright, y'all. Let me get back to this. Alright. Check it out. Doesn't that look... See, doesn't that look about 100 times better? See that back wheel sitting in, because no more adapter back there. Alright, so this rotor on this side was the one that was a new rotor, but it had a jacked up stud in it, and I think somebody drilled the holes and pressed the other studs in, but the other studs fell right out. So now I just got the 7/16 ARPs in this one. You see, the long studs are in there. And again, I don't see why they needed to do this. You could have left the stock little stud on there and just ran an ET lug nut, extended thread. I'll be explaining this all the time. ET, this goes into the rim hole and it holds everything a lot tighter on machine fit. So, I got a ton of shit everywhere. But, I'm about to drill the other rotor. It's in the box right there. Table, pull it out, drill it, put it in the vise, blah, blah, whatever. So, yes, I'll weld these bolts in because I always weld these bolts in. Still a little warm. You never have to take that back out again. These are the stock bolt, and these might be a little bit longer, but that's fine. They're welded in. I'll be able to shim whatever I want to shim. As you can see how it turned out, look at the spindle. The spindle is damn near straight up and down. So now when it sets down and goes up, it's going to degree back just a little bit. But I'll be able to shim. I have plenty to shim, front, back, both, whatever. This side I do have brake line. I should have went with 20 inches. I went with 12 inches, and it looks like because this loops over around the frame, which I mean, yeah, it can stop up there because that hose don't need to be hanging that fucking far. But yeah, I don't know what the hell happened there. It started dripping a little bit. I went to tighten it. It started dripping more. I loosened it. It tightened up. But then, I mean, that was a big ass master, most likely empty. But I took the ball joint from the top of the arm and put it on the bottom of the arm to give me that extra clearance that I need. So right now the suspension is all the way down. That means the shock is topped all the way out. Well, the shock might have a little bit more that way, but you can see this is there. No bump stop. I should be able to get this thing to sit good. We know about coilovers, that when coilovers, you set it down, they go down about 2 inches. So if this goes down, that's like a fucking 4.5, 5 inch gap. So if it rides, you know, here, then you got your travel moves back and forth. The other thing with the front of this thing, they had the coilover all the way up on the compression, because that's all it's got, single adjustable. They had that all the way up on 10. So that was pretty tight for the front. They were probably trying to do that to get it to hold the front more, because the alignment was totally off. Everything was towed out so nasty, probably like 2-3 inches. But yeah, the back we know is going to go down about 2 inches, so it should sit where he wants it. I mean, fuck, even if it sat there in the back on the ground now compared to what it was, it's fine. But yeah, all right, let me get this other rotor drilled and the ARP studs in there. And I'll get the other side together, and then we'll be able to set it down for the first time. And I went 1.25 inches. I can't remember what the gap was before between the lock plate and there. I want to say it was only like 1 inch. So I went 1.25 inches. There's a 550 spring, 26s. This upper control arm, we do have the longer ball joint. So I don't know what this control arm is. So what I did to the bottom, it moved it 5/8 of an inch farther forward. Basically, that's what QA1 is like. I want to say they're probably like that, 1/2 inch, 5/8, maybe a bit more than stock, because they correct geometry. So if stock is like this, then they make the upper sit a little back more, make the bottom sit a little back, a little forward more, and then, oh, but yes. Dude, I never asked him if he wanted to buy QA1s. He had this stuff. I said, I'll make it work. I can make it work. Old school, this, that. People are saying that this is gonna just break off at the weld. I've done it over 100 times, plenty of cars. It's not the cleanest underneath, but it's welded, and it's not gonna go nowhere. But you know, all the critics out there, they just want to act like they can do it better and this and that, blah blah, but they ain't never done shit in their life. So there you go. Bet that up. I'll be right back. All right, y'all. First time that I set it down. First time. So tops of the wheels are out. The driver's side top of the wheel is out more. Front of the car, I mean, even though the hood's open on that side of the car is 1 inch higher than this side of the car. This back corner is a 1/2 inch lower than that side of the car. So the car itself is that whatever. No sway bar hooked up on the front. So that left front corner, you can see when it was in the air, okay, see that was not out too bad at the top, right? But this one, that's out way more than that side. So frame notch, this, that, whatever. Frame twisted, I don't know. Yes, I did move the ball joint, but that wouldn't cause that much difference. And then, so basically this side's higher because the wheel is out more at the top. Totally shimmable. I put the ball joints on the bottom side of the control arm on the top, which I can go ahead and switch Pretty sure I can switch that back. I'm pretty sure I got enough clearance there. Height-wise, I could probably take the driver's side down some, but that's gonna once the sway bar's on the front, it would level out the front because you're tying both sides together. So that might be the little discrepancy right there, because you know you got the battery on this side on the hood, so a little bit difference. But make this side down more. The back have an anti-roll. I mean the body of the measurements I was taking. Yeah. I got to go up a little bit in the back because the tires are. It's got a little bit of clearance, but no, it's touching right there. So adjust the rear and back a little bit. Take the ass end up a little bit. Take the front end possibly down just a little bit. I'm gonna check the turning. I'm gonna check how much shimming I can do in there, which I'm pretty sure I can do a ton. Yeah, in the beginning of the video, see that wheel was way back there. Oh, and I adjusted the toe because the driver's side was towed way out, so just from eyeballing, that looks pretty damn straight front to back. But of course that will change when we get to the top and the tires in. But yeah, this side's out way more. You know what? Let's look at it from the back. Let's see what the difference is. So that wheel, I mean, it doesn't look like it's that far out in the top. But yeah, that one's way. Alright, so I'll take it back up, do some measuring. I didn't put that brake line on yet anyways. I wanted to see how it set. And yeah, I'm gonna figure it out, but looks 100 times better, right? Bet that up. Watch out, little girl.
Sidewalk.
The Malibu. Sitting good, looking good. Not stopping too good. Idle is too high if you mess with the screw. The next second, turn the wheel a touch to the left. Go too far. Right there. All right, so car's all measured out. Back's the same. I put the back Viking shocks. I put them at 5 and 3. Compression 5, rebound 3, or 4, I mean, 5 and 4. And in the front is a single adjustable QA1. They had them way up. I put them at 5. That's only single. But pushing the front end up and down, it's fine. The brakes were weak to begin with, and I had to put that brake line on. Then the bleeders wouldn't come out, so I heated them up and then tried to get them out, worked them back and forth. They broke off. Both bleeders broke off in there. They're probably the original G-body calipers that were on this car to begin with. So when you get on the brakes, it's got pedal height, or it doesn't have pedal height? It's got pedal height.
It's got height, it just has no pedal. It just
Okay, so height means the backs are doing something, but the fronts,
it feels like
to get the rest of the air out of the front, the calipers are junk. So I mean, the car was weak when I drove it out of the house garage and pulled it down here. So anyways, y'all, I just noticed that quarter was like a different, or maybe the door is different. Probably painted the door at a certain time. Anyways, I know this shit other people don't know. But this looks good. Shit's good. You know, people are probably looking at it on the stands, the alignment plates, thinking the front was that high, but it's not bad at all. All right, y'all. well, there it is. Done. I'll call him, tell him. And then he can have somebody put some brakes on it. Bet that up. Audis.